Let's get started!
Hey Deadline. So I'm kinda noticing a whole lot of gear shift lately. There's gear shift over here. There's gear shift over there. There's gear shift everywhere. And almost every time he appears he's being tied to Lord Explosion murder.
What the f are you talking about, clever comrade?
I just came up with a theory regarding these two. Specifically about how this guy has a hidden gear shift quirk.
Huh?
Okay, here's a theory. Here we go. So for the longest time I've always wondered about the full concept of Lord Explosion Murder's ability to fly using his explosions. It's just that some things just don't add up no matter how much I think about it. I mean, come on. Now while yes, it's easily understandable how he's able to fly by just simply blasting backwards. But how come mostly nothing happens when he goes into the reverse and fires forwards? How come firing forwards don't nearly push him back as much as the other way around? He somehow just seems unusually resistant to being blown backwards by his own forward explosions. In fact, he could even throw absolutely massive blasts. And as long as it's facing forwards, most of the time he just won't move a single inch backwards. It's really bizarre. Hell, it's even more bizarre when you see both types of explosion pushback weirdness animated literally right next to each other.
Not good! Oh! But I finally warmed up!
Yeah, see that? When Lord Explosion Murder is blasting backwards, he can fly forwards normally. But when he blasted forwards, he somehow doesn't get pushed back at the same level.
See?
Oh, you don't see it?
See?
Furthermore, it's not just forwards and backwards blasting that has this unusual pushback weirdness. It also applies to sideways blasting. Lord Explosion Murder can fire off a sideways blast, and sometimes he doesn't get pushed back by the resulting explosion. But sometimes he does. So yeah. All in all, Lord Explosion Murder seems to have complete control on whether his blasts push him or not. The laws of physics and inertia seemingly follow his rules instead of the other way around. And this is where the gear shift theory comes in. So a little thing about gear shift first. It's a quirk that allows complete control of the speed and acceleration of an object. It can even effectively slow down and stop things, whether to a complete halt, or just to resume their original movement later. Okay. Now with this little fact, and especially considering the manga's obsession with highlighting these two together and hinting hard that they're related, not only it's already quite possible that Lord Explosion Murder has some inherited gear shift capabilities, but also him having gear shift pretty much answers every single f***ing explosion pushback weirdness I talked about earlier. In fact, it's quite easy to imagine how the guy uses it to basically stop himself in space to prevent unwanted pushback from his forward explosions, and then turn it off afterwards to resume normal explosive flight. But now you might be wondering, if Lord Explosion Murder supposedly has gear shift, then how come he didn't do the fancy shift gear motion even once? Well, for this, you could easily think of it as a result of natural quirk evolution through generations, which turned gear shift from manual to fully automatic, but completely merging with the explosion quirk and losing most of its original abilities, making it only usable in conjunction with explosions instead of being usable at will. So yeah, all in all, this unique thought-powered gear shift pretty much explains how Lord Explosion Murder seemingly has complete automatic control over the pushback from his explosions. As long as he's thinking he won't get blown back by his certain blasts, his built-in gear shift will automatically activate and prevent any unwanted and unnecessary pushback. Hell, he could even stop himself and just float midair if he wanted to. Man, having a pre-installed gear shift in Explosion is really something amazing and convenient. And that, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much sums up my gear shift theory. Okay, I'm done. Hey Deadline, what do you think of my theory?
I don't like it. Because I don't like gear sh**. The utter waste of a human.
Why the hell do you hate gear shift anyway? What did the guy ever do to you?
That man straight sucks a lot. It's a crime against fashion.
And you're literally crying about it?
My eyes hurt just by looking at it.
Okay, whatever, I'm ending the video now.